Okay, so we'll kind of like tear your chip down a little bit and see exactly what's going on. Uh, you can see that let's do it. Here's a slow motion. Okay, so watch it in slow motion, and you can see there's a lot of weight hanging on your back uh, leg. First, well, here's your address. You can see you got a lot of weight back, and your hips are kind of away from the target a lot. I know you got a bad knee, but if you kind of get your hips towards the target, I sent you a thing on the secondary swing center, your hips, but I mean it looks good. But you can see, you have a lot of weight on your back leg at address. Um, and like I said, this might work as long as it works at aerodynamic on the tight lies. I'm fine with it. All right, so here you are, like this is pretty much your backswing, the full backswing. You look really good. You can see, you definitely see it. I mean, it looks like there's weight on your back leg, and like I said, I mean, if this works for you at aerodynamic on a tight lie, then I'm actually good with it. It's not going to help you out of the rough for sure to have your weight back because you're going to catch too much grass. And even if you just think of like getting your swing centers, like your hips and your shoulders more forward, then it would get you more on your front foot. But yeah, I mean, you can obviously see that there's a lot of weight on your back foot, but I can see you making an effort to keep it up front. Um, and when I show you your full swing, you're gonna see this same issue with your full swing. So it's pretty much going through all of it. But I mean, it looks good. So I mean, look how you took it back nice and shallow. So that's good. Just think about your weight and swing centers. So I'm gonna stop it at impact or just past impact, and you can see. I mean, it looks really good. Like your body looks really quiet. Your hands look like soft. It doesn't look like you're certainly not scooping or flipping. Looks like your right wrist is the angle is maintained, but you can obviously see it appears that there's a lot of weight on your back leg. Um, so I mean that's what I see here, but it looks actually looks really good. So here you are, like past impact, and um, it looks fine. Still looks like you got a lot of weight on your back foot, and your hips just appear back. Like your hips appear like they're kind of going back. And if you get more weight forward, like you should probably think about your hips actually getting more forward, like over your front leg. And like I said, on your full swing, I'll really show you why this happens and how it happens. But your hands still look good, and the thing I like most is that you're actually coming up through the shot. You're extending upward through the shot. You don't have like your head down, and you're not keeping your head down and all that crap. You're just kind of swinging through it, and you're coming through the shot, and that looks really okay. So here you are, pretty much on your finish, and I mean it's great because you've stand it up. You've like extended through the shot. You're through it. You got through it, and see how your arms have gone to the left, um, and your right wrist. You can see the angle still in your right wrist, so that looks really good. Everything looks good. I mean the way you're like standing up, and you're all over your front leg. You can see there's a little weight still on your back foot. The only thing that looks a little weird is that you can see the red arrow. Your hips look kind of farther away from the target than your shoulders. Just remember that everything has to go towards the target. Nothing goes away from the target. And it just looks like, I've shown you through the whole chip that you tend to keep your weight back. And like I said, if this works, I'm fine with it. You have to try this on the tight lies. I mean, you got to go to the tightest lies at aerodynamic and make sure this works. And if it's not working, I can guarantee it's 100% the fact that your weight, you're hanging back a little. And I mean, you felt it when we get the swing center forward, how you catch it more closer to the ball and you nip it better. But other than that, this is it. And I mean, it looks really good. I mean, you look better than most people at aerodynamic, chipping. That's how you're supposed to look after a chip. You're like standing up, you're kind of extended upward, your weight's on the front, and your arms are more around to the left. So it looks really awesome. Cool. Okay, so that's it for now. The most important thing is, when you're watching all this stuff, you can practice it and, think about it when you practice, but like, don't ever become a head case on the golf course. Don't make, and I know you're the type, you probably would never let this happen. Um, when you get on the golf course and you're hitting a chip, all you gotta think is, loose, like, that one out of 10 grip pressure. If it starts tightening, like, step away. I mean, get back, just make sure your hands and arms are loose, right? So you just think loose and tempo, and that's pretty much all you're going to need to think. The rest of it's like you using your body and your senses to to feel how far to chip it, and you also always want to experiment with different clubs and always try different clubs. Like do the putt chip with a 9-iron or even an 8-iron, or don't always use your 60, or definitely use your 60 when you want, and use your 56. I mean, what I've done here is like I've kind of opened the door for you to become, like my website says, I'm chipping master, right? So a chipping master knows all these different ways, like raising your hands a little higher to hit it straighter and lower, or getting your hands lower and swinging to the left to hit like a lob shot or whatever. So that's your playing part of it. And just when you're standing over the chip, you should just be thinking loose and tempo. And for you, probably the weight thing. So that would be 3 things to think of, but the weight thing has to become natural eventually. When you're actually chipping a shot and you got a big shot, and even for money, loose and tempo. And your tempo can't be slow enough. I mean, slow is way better than fast. So that should be it. And I mean, if you're doing this correctly, it's going to blow your mind how you can chip from anywhere on that golf course and chip it really close. And people are going to look at you and be like, "Holy cow, what happened to this guy?" Right? So, good luck with it. And I'm going to do your full swing and give you a video on that. And all right, cool. So that's it for chipping. Okay, I was just kind of reviewing the video I just made, and just something I wanted to go back to, which is really awesome. So look at your backswing, how your arms and shoulders are just like, it definitely looks like your pivot, your shoulders and your torso are taking the club back. It is not your hands. You can see that, right? And that's like probably one of the best things about this. Like, there's no snatching the club back with your hands. It's your body which is swinging your loose hands and arms back, and that's huge. So never forget that. It's always got to if you keep your hands at zero tension, like I said, there's no way they can move unless you actually use your pivot to swing them back. So yeah, this is really great. I would never forget this. Like this image of your shoulder, like bringing your arms and hands back, nice and shallow too. You see that? And yeah, so that's really good. So just wanted to add that in there. And so good luck in practice, and always practice on tight lies. So you can feel confident about doing it on tight lies. Okay, and one last thing. So always remember 100% swinging motion, right? 100% a swinging motion. Anything to change that swinging motion, and you're most likely to fail. So always swing. You're swinging the club, and you're swinging your arms and hands with your pivot, which is going to swing through onto your front leg and finish perfectly balanced on your front foot. And so always remember that, right? It's a 100% swing. You're a swinger, not a hitter. Okay? All right. See you later.